The wrestling world just witnessed something absolutely insane when Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre tore the house down on SmackDown in a match that had every single person in the arena on their feet from the opening bell to the final 3 count. Hit that subscribe button right now because what went down between these two titans needs to be broken down in detail. These two superstars delivered a performance that will have people talking for months, throwing everything they had at each other in a battle that showcased exactly why they're considered two of the best performers in the entire industry right now. The tension heading into this match had been building for weeks, with both men trading verbal shots and physical confrontations that made it clear neither was backing down from the other. Cody Rhodes came into this confrontation riding high on momentum, carrying himself with the confidence of someone who has proven time and again that he belongs at the top of the card. Drew McIntyre entered with his own fire burning, determined to show everyone that he's still one of the most dangerous competitors in WWE and that anyone standing across from him is in for the fight of their life. From the moment the bell rang, these two went at each other with an intensity that made it impossible to look away. Drew McIntyre started the match by charging at Cody with brutal force, using his size and power advantage to push the American Nightmare back into the corner. The Scottish Warrior unleashed a series of heavy chops that echoed through the arena, each one landing with such impact that you could see Cody's chest turning red from the punishment. Cody Rhodes fired back with his own strikes, refusing to be overwhelmed by McIntyre's initial onslaught. He ducked under a clothesline attempt and connected with a quick succession of jabs that backed the bigger man up. The crowd roared as Cody hit the ropes and came back with a beautiful dropkick that sent McIntyre stumbling backwards. This back-and-forth exchange set the tone for what would be an absolute war between two men who were not interested in taking any shortcuts to victory. McIntyre recovered quickly and caught Cody with a thunderous belly-to-belly suplex that sent the champion flying across the ring. The impact was so severe that Cody rolled out to the floor, taking a moment to catch his breath and reassess his strategy. Drew didn't give him much time to think, following him outside and continuing the assault with punishing strikes against the barricade. The referee's count climbed higher as McIntyre dominated on the outside, showing no mercy to his opponent. Cody managed to reverse an Irish whip attempt, sending Drew crashing into the steel steps with a sickening thud. The momentum shifted as Cody took control, rolling McIntyre back into the ring and climbing to the top rope. He launched himself with a picture-perfect crossbody that connected beautifully, covering for what everyone thought might be the first near fall of the match. Drew powered out at 2, showing the incredible strength that has defined his entire career. The match continued to escalate with both men pulling out moves from their extensive arsenals. Cody hit his signature disaster kick, catching Drew flush on the jaw and sending him reeling. He followed up immediately with a snap power slam, going for another cover that Drew kicked out of with authority. The near falls were starting to pile up, with each man coming closer and closer to securing the victory but neither able to put the other away. Drew McIntyre roared back into control with a spine buster that drove Cody hard into the canvas. He stalked his opponent like a predator, waiting for the perfect moment to strike with his devastating Claymore kick. As Cody struggled to his feet, Drew charged across the ring, but somehow the American Nightmare moved at the last possible second, causing McIntyre to crash into the turnbuckles. The missed opportunity cost Drew dearly as Cody immediately capitalized with a roll-up that nearly ended the match. The action spilled to the outside again when both men tumbled over the top rope after a collision mid-ring. They exchanged strikes on the floor, neither willing to give an inch to the other. Drew lifted Cody up and drove him spine first into the ring apron, one of the hardest parts of the ring. Cody's face showed the agony of that impact, but he refused to stay down, fighting back with desperation and heart. Back inside the ring, the pace somehow intensified even further. Cody connected with a beautiful moonsault from the second rope, crashing down on Drew and hooking the leg for what looked like a sure victory. The referee's hand came down for 1, then 2, but Drew's shoulder shot up just before the 3 count. The crowd couldn't believe it, and neither could Cody, who looked at the referee in disbelief before refocusing on the task at hand. Drew McIntyre showed why he's called the Scottish Warrior by fighting through everything Cody threw at him. He caught Cody coming off the ropes and delivered a devastating future shock DDT that planted the champion headfirst into the mat. Drew crawled over for the cover, certain he had just won the match, but Cody's resilience shone through as he kicked out at 2.5. The frustration on McIntyre's face was evident as he slapped the mat, knowing he needed to dig even deeper. The two warriors pulled themselves up using the ropes, both clearly feeling the effects of the brutal battle they'd been waging. They met in the center of the ring and began trading heavy forearm shots, each one landing with sickening force. The crowd counted along with every strike, the volume in the arena reaching deafening levels as these two incredible athletes refused to back down. Cody gained the advantage and hit the ropes, but Drew caught him with a massive Glasgow Kiss headbutt that stopped him dead in his tracks. McIntyre signaled for the Claymore again, backing into the corner and loading up for the match-ending strike. The entire arena held its breath as Drew charged forward, but Cody dropped down at the last second and Drew sailed over him. As McIntyre turned around, Cody caught him with a Cody cutter out of nowhere. The place exploded as Cody hooked the leg, but somehow, someway, Drew McIntyre kicked out at the last possible millisecond. Both men were completely exhausted at this point, pouring every ounce of energy they had left into trying to finish the other off. Cody pulled himself up first and set up for the crossroads, spinning Drew around and lifting him up. McIntyre fought out of it with elbows to the side of Cody's head, breaking free from the hold. He shoved Cody into the ropes and went for a big boot, but Cody ducked underneath and came back with a running knee strike that connected perfectly. The match reached its climax when Cody hit not one but two consecutive crossroads on Drew McIntyre. After the first one, he held on and pulled Drew back up, spinning him around for a second devastating finish. The crowd was on their feet as Cody made the cover, the referee counting 1, 2, 3 for the victory. The exhaustion on both men's faces told the story of an absolute war that had just taken place. Cody Rhodes stood victorious but clearly battered, his chest marked with welts from Drew's chops, his body aching from the punishment he'd absorbed. Drew McIntyre remained on the mat, staring at the lights in frustration and disappointment but having given absolutely everything he had. The respect between these two competitors was evident even in defeat, as Drew slowly pulled himself up and looked across at Cody. The aftermath of the match saw an incredible moment of sportsmanship when Drew extended his hand to Cody in the middle of the ring. The crowd held its breath, wondering if the Scottish warrior would show respect or turn it into another attack. Cody cautiously approached and grasped Drew's hand, and to everyone's relief, McIntyre pulled him in for a show of respect before raising Cody's arm in victory. The arena erupted in appreciation for both men and the incredible contest they had just delivered. This match proved beyond any doubt that both Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre are operating at the absolute peak of their abilities right now. The chemistry between them was undeniable, with each man knowing exactly when to give and when to take, when to slow things down and when to kick it into high gear. The storytelling throughout the match was superb, with both competitors showing desperation, determination, and the will to win that separates great matches from good ones. Drew McIntyre's performance reinforced why so many people see him as a future world champion once again. His power moves looked devastating, his timing was impeccable, and his ability to kick out of big moves at the last second had the crowd on the edge of their seats throughout. Even in defeat, Drew looked like an absolute star, someone who could beat anyone on any given night. His frustration after the loss felt genuine and earned, making fans sympathize with him despite coming up short. Cody Rhodes continued to prove why he's one of the most consistent performers in all of wrestling. His ability to call a match in the ring, to work with his opponent and create those magical near-fall sequences, is second to none. The way he sold Drew's offense made every move look important and dangerous. His own offense looked crisp and impactful, especially those crossroads finishers that finally put McIntyre away. The standing ovation he received after the match was well-deserved. The crowd played a huge role in making this match feel as important as it was. They were invested from the opening bell, reacting to every big spot, every near fall, every strike exchange. Their energy fed into the performers and elevated an already great match into something truly special. The dueling chants for both competitors showed that the audience respected both men equally and just wanted to see them tear the house down, which is exactly what happened. This match will be studied by wrestling fans and future wrestlers alike as an example of how to structure a main event level contest. The pacing was perfect, starting strong but not blowing their load too early, building through the middle section with smart storytelling, and then going into overdrive in the final stretch with all the big moves and near falls. Neither man looked weak in defeat or victory, which is the hallmark of truly great wrestling. The implications of this match extend beyond just one night on SmackDown. Cody Rhodes gained another impressive victory over a top-tier opponent, strengthening his claim as one of the best in the business. Drew McIntyre, despite losing, proved he belongs in any main event conversation and that his quest to return to championship glory is far from over. The door remains open for a rematch between these two, and after what they delivered, fans would absolutely line up to see them do it all over again. Social media went crazy during and after this match, with fans and fellow wrestlers alike praising what they had just witnessed. Trending topics lit up with mentions of both Cody and Drew, with people debating the match quality, sharing their favorite spots, and expressing their appreciation for two professionals at the top of their game. The positive buzz generated by this contest is exactly what WWE wants from their programming. The physical toll this match took on both men was evident in how they moved after the final bell. Both Cody and Drew looked exhausted, their bodies marked with the evidence of battle. The handshake and sign of respect afterwards added an emotional layer to the proceedings, showing that even fierce competitors can acknowledge each other's greatness when the fight is over. That moment of sportsmanship resonated with fans who appreciate when wrestlers show respect after beating each other senseless. This SmackDown encounter between Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre delivered everything it promised and more. It was hard-hitting, it was dramatic, it was filled with near falls that had people believing the outcome could go either way, and it featured two of the best in the world working at their absolute peak. Matches like this remind fans why they love professional wrestling, why they tune in week after week hoping to see something special. This was special. The storytelling extended beyond just the moves and the near falls. You could see the desperation in both men's eyes as the match wore on, the realization that they might not be able to put the other away, the frustration when a cover only got two. the determination to keep fighting despite the exhaustion. These emotional beats transformed a great athletic contest into a compelling narrative that had fans emotionally invested in the outcome. As SmackDown went off the air, the image of Cody Rhodes standing tall while Drew McIntyre looked on with respect encapsulated everything that makes wrestling beautiful. Two warriors had gone to battle, left everything they had in that ring, and emerged with their reputations enhanced regardless of who got their hand raised. The fans got their money's worth and then some, treated to a main event caliber match on weekly television that exceeded all expectations. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss another breakdown of the incredible action happening in WWE right now. Cody Rhodes vs. Drew McIntyre delivered an instant classic on SmackDown, and matches like this prove that wrestling is in great hands with performers of this caliber leading the way into the future.